Hello. So, when you want a FTP file share server using your old Android smartphone, you will need a app first. And the app I use is this one. So, when you have the app installed, mostly people think that is the only thing you'll need, and then when you'll open the app, and you can configure it if you would like. But some people already just hit start because in most cases, in my case, though, I wanted to share files quickly, so I pressed start and I typed this in FileZilla or whatever kind of FTP client you use, the password, etc., copy the files, move the files, and stop it again. So when you have that set up, you will use the IP address which was given to the phone when it connected to Wi-Fi. So every time you will disconnect and connect again, or maybe it doesn't here, but with some routers it changes immediately. Sadly, for my example here, it doesn't, but in 3 days or whenever your DSP IP lease is um, renewed, you'll get a different IP address even if you're at your home Wi-Fi. So if you want to make a FTP server, which is a little bit like a real server, which doesn't act on start, stop, and is like 24/7 enabled and available, to not get into the fact that you'll need this phone to run 24/7 on power, have it a little bit monitored and stuff like that, so you can ensure that it stays connected. Just thinking that that is already set up, you'll then need a connection to your network. But here comes the thing, you will need to make it a static IP address. And we also need to do some things at the router level, but first we'll need to do it here. So you'll click this, then you'll go to advanced. It is it with most Samsung phones though. It it it's a little bit different for every phone, but for most Android you can find it under the Wi-Fi settings and then tap the Wi-Fi network. So in your phone, just go to the Wi-Fi which is connected and hit that wheel, or just hit the Wi-Fi itself. That also, no, not here, but with some phones you can hit the whole network name itself. And when you're in the network specific settings for that network which is connected, you'll just go down or just look for DHCP or IP. And when you see the word DHCP, just click that. And then when you have the option static, statisch in Dutch, or something like manually, just hit that. And then it will ask for, okay, if you want to do that, this is the one I got, this is that gateway I got, and etc. etc. Some phones leave it blank and you can put it in immediately, but with this situation I need to delete the current values. So I will delete this all, and then it's more universal and you can follow from here. So with IP address, We will come to that, but first we'll need to ensure that we're on the correct router. So in most cases, these are the ones which begins the address with, mostly, in most cases, and with the most people also this. But in my situation, I use this one. So because I use that little 10, I can't show you, so I will just pretend I have a 1. We can do the same here. DNS, you can do this one for Google, this one I believe for another from Google, this for Cloudflare, and what I would use is Pi-hole in the most ideal situation, but that is not working at the moment, so I will just put the same in as my router. So these ones is also the same device, the router. DNS2, for a backup I will just use 88.8.8.8. That is Google service. If you don't know DNS and I don't have a video on that, well then just look it up, and if I have a video about that, go watch it. So now we're at the IP address. Just use the same, but instead of the 1 at the end for the router in the other situation, we'll just need to make up a number from ranging from mostly 1 to 254. So this is the maximum, this is the minimum, well this, because otherwise we'll have an IP conflict. And in my situation I have set the limit to 200, so we'll stay between like 100 and 200 because I have very much devices and they all use some random number between 1 and 100. So to be safe, I will just be sure to not use that range or anything in between and just use something like this. So I am sure that this isn't in use. So because we now have 120, we'll just remember that this number, that is my phone now, that is the FTP. Then no proxy, that you'll just leave it as is and then click save. Then to be sure, maybe it is automatically, but just to be sure, turn it off again and turn it on. It is connecting and it's connected. I will hit the wheel and it says here 120. So now you have that part correctly set up so it stays static. Even after 6 months it is still 120 in this app here. So I'll hit start, and now we are sure that this 120 number doesn't change. So that's good. User ID, good. Password, good. Anonymous exit disabled, good. Custom folder you can choose, that is for the Android, which folder it uses. So if all that is set up, you will need to go. Oh wait, I forgot something. I will show you. Just hit the wheel in the top right corner, this one. First stop it though. Then you'll have these settings here, user ID, password, that is self-explanatory, so just don't mind that. Oh, also you need to check that. So that's good, that's good, that's good. That's also good. We set that up. So when that is all set up, what I wanted to show you is this one and this one, but first we'll need to show the root folder options. When you have the root folder option, so this, you'll have the choice of internal memory, our custom folder, and you can think of this one and that one as the same as that. And just don't mind this, I'm not gonna explain what that is and why that is there. So just choose this or this, and it's best practice to just always choose this one, I think. So to reset it, I will first need to select something else and then hit that again. Then it will open up the files window. And why I did that was because of this, because if I want to do that now, it doesn't open. So that's why I first hit something else. So here we have all the files, and to do it again for if somebody didn't see it because it was too fast, I first hit something else. And in most situations when you first install this app, you don't have that to do, so you'll just click it and then select this one. When you've selected it, don't press anything, just hit this, then hit permission granted or access OK. When you have set that up, just check it again. When it is set here, then it is good. So now we have that, and that, and that. Now we only need to know what this is for. So just click it, and here you'll have a port number. That is your port number for the FTP. You will also need to forward. Sorry for my handwriting. So 12.05. Now we have all set up. That, and the read only is not. It's not like smart, because then you can only read. So when you have set it up, just test it by pressing start, pressing stop, pressing start, pressing stop, and then it's okay. Even test it like this. If you started it, click recents, kill it, check it, and with some phones like Huawei or Xiaomi, it will stop immediately, but with most phones it will be here, and that is what you want to see. So just stop it from the status bar here, and then we will need to go set up the router. So go to your browser of choice. I don't have a browser anymore because this is a custom ROM, so I will need to download Chrome, so just wait for that. Still waiting for that. Still waiting. Almost done now. Almost. So when you have your browser open, go to your router page. This depends which number it has, but mostly it's 1.1. So just make sure that is correct. Then go log in with your username and your password. And when you're logged in, go to the white corner there, click on that, and this really depends on which router you have, but I will skip it. Just go to your port forwarding settings. So when you're there, hit make a new rule, and with my router I will first need to select this, but just don't mind that because not everybody has this. And also this one you don't need, so just ignore these things. This is the name. Make it very clear. Don't use spaces a lot. That's just my rule of thumb. So when you have a correct name like this, then go to the next step. You'll need this one and that one. That will go itself, and you'll need that one. So for the port 1205 and the end port also 1205. Remember, it was the same as with this setting here. Same port. So just stop that again. Go back and make sure that's the same. When it is, that is all good. Then this has set itself up. That's good. Here you'll need to make sure you'll have the same IP address. We can check that again. That is 120, and we'll just make sure that's the same. So when you'll have those specifics, that one, and that one, also you'll need to make sure this is our TCP, or what I can do for sure, TCP and UDP, but TCP is okay enough. Then go down, click OK. Now you have made the connection. I'm going to scroll to it, and here you can see 120, 1205, and TCP name, and it's active. So that's good, that's good, that's good, and that's good. And those are also good, but most people used to use that's good. That's also a little bit irrelevant, and a name. So then just ignore all this. So then you can log out from your router, close the Chrome window, and now you can test it. I am not going to show that here, but maybe I can, well, maybe I can show it, but it's a little bit difficult, I think. Then I'll need to make multiple connections from one phone, and that's not really, no, that's not very possible, because then I'll need to run the server and the client at the same time. I'm gonna show you in another video, but the thing is, when I have this running, it is available outside of your network, redundant, not redundant, but securely and 24/7 available if you have it on power. It doesn't change the IP address, it doesn't stop the servers, because you can check that from here. If you close it, it stays connected here. And within the router, we also have set up the port forwarding rule. There is still one little trick you can do to ensure that it is more securely and redundant, industrial available. Yeah, I don't know how do you say that in English. And that is this trick. the assigning static IP addresses trick. Well, I say that wrong. I mean binding the IP address with your MAC address. There are two ways, I think, even. And I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna pause the video for now, skip it. This is the one, assign static IP address. So it's like the same you'll do in the Wi-Fi stuff from the phone, but then from the router settings. So we'll just, oh, we can even select the phone here, so that's even more convenient. So it has the MAC address already and the IP address also already. Oh, that's not good. I see that it's a different one. That's weird. Wait a second. It is 120, it says here. That's weird. That's really weird. Moments. It says 120. That's weird. Well, maybe it's a weird of a bug or something, but just ignore that. We'll just type this in. We'll already have the MAC address, so that's handy. Just check if it's the same for the phone. Here you can check the MAC address or the IP address 120, so that's okay. And we'll can check here the Wi-Fi MAC address and here also. F4 7. Yeah, that's all correct. So we'll just hit there 120 and then we'll select manual and hit OK. So now we have also the assigned static IP address set up. That's good, and that's good, and it's on. So now there is one trick left, and I'm going to show you. So there wasn't a last one. It is just making a static IP address on both end devices, the phone and the router. Then you'll need to make the port forwarding rule, and then you basically are done. Now you can access the phone FTP service when you click this from outside, but to do one custom thing, and then the video is like 30 minutes long max. I'm gonna show you. It's a little bit weird maybe for some people, but I will use a app called MacroDroid to ensure that when I need to hit that button again and again, I can do that remotely. So this app will use UI interactions. I will make a new macro. I will just do this a little bit fast, but I will show you in a more slow way in like a few minutes. I will go with identify an app. I'm going back to the app. 363.96. So what I'm doing here is ensuring that when this button is like that, I can use my laptop to hit it remotely. And that's why I'll need these numbers, because those are the specific coordinates for that button, and I will show it. Just first I'll need to set up a little delay. So these are delays to ensure that this is at the correct moment. And now it isn't started. I will click here, test actions in 1, 2, 3, and go back to the app. You saw that, right? So going to make this a little bit bigger, 7 seconds. So I'm gonna test it, 1, 2, 3, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I didn't click that. So just to make it sure, click that again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But now comes the tricky part. How do you trigger it? Well, you'll use this connectivity and then webhooks. This one. Click it and make a identifier FTP start there, like that. And you'll need this long URL, but to make it a little bit more convenient, click this. It will generate a little bit shorter, that one. Copy that, click OK, make it a name, FTP button smasher, button smasher v1. Click back, click save. Then you'll have this Macro for the phone. Ensure that it is enabled both times there. Go back and make also sure that that is enabled. So when all those three are enabled, close the app again. Then you can use Chrome here and paste the URL. Go back to that, hit stop. And when I am clicking go, oh, that is a little bit shameful. That was not my thing. That's weird. Go back to the MacroDroid app. Copy maybe that one, maybe that works. Go back to that app. And you saw it. It does it with the trigger of a specific URL. So when you will open this in your laptop, it will press button. Last time, go back to that app, wait, and look. Sometimes it fails, just try it again. If it fails, just try it again. And it is successful. Done. Bye guys.